Today I want to do something a little bit different. This is not about cell phones or cell phone repairs, although technically it is about wireless solutions, and that is I want to check out a new product I got. This is the Telme 2, and it's a wireless Bluetooth link that goes from your smart TV to your wireless headset. One of the problems that I've always had with smart TVs and was really surprised by is that they don't natively support Bluetooth connections, and they don't obviously download any drivers for Bluetooth to work. And it's really strange because you can hook up just about any Bluetooth to your cell phone, but you can't do the same thing with your smart TV. So if you're trying to watch a loud action movie in the middle of the night, you're going to wake up everyone else in the house, and the neighbors are going to complain if you live very close to them. So hopefully this will solve that problem, and we'll find out right now how it works. All right, so let's see what's in the box. It says pull to open. So I feel like I'm going to just tear it open here. We've got a seal. Let's go ahead and just slice that. All right, so yeah, I don't see this really opening just by pulling it. So, all right. Oh, I guess you have to open the top first. That makes sense. So now we pull to open, and this is much smaller than I expected. The image that they show on their website makes this thing look enormous. And I'm glad that it isn't, because what we're going to do eventually is Velcro this to the TV somewhere. At least that's what it sounded like in the instructions. So yeah, we've got a little peel-off sticker here with some Velcro. So this is going to be somewhere on the TV. And what it said in the instructions is that the top end has to be visible. So I imagine this goes behind the TV. I don't know. Figure it out. So we've got our receiver or transmitter. We have an old school V3 type charger. We've got an audio jack. I'm not sure why you would use this. The problem with the transmission of analog signals to a Bluetooth device is that if it has to convert to a digital signal, you get lag. So it ends up feeling like you're watching an old dubbed kung fu movie. What you want to use, and make sure that you have this option on your device, is the digital optical link that comes out. So this will plug in, and it's kind of a unique design. This is what we're looking for though, and that's what you want to plug it into. One end goes into the TV output, and the other end is going to go here, I assume. Well, that's interesting. Oh, down here at the bottom. We'll have to pry this. Oh, I see. It just pushes right in there. It's got a nice little dust cover, which is wise because you don't want any dust getting onto your optical connection. The other side will go to the TV, and then hopefully you'll have an available USB port because we need to power this thing up, and that's going to plug in right down here on the bottom. Pretty straightforward. So let's go see what kind of options we have on the TV. All right, so next thing I'm going to do is just go ahead and unwind these cables. They've got some of these little twist ties on them that need to come off, so we'll have some slack. And then the rest should be easy. We have quite a bit of, actually it's about a 3 foot, I believe. So we've got a USB and a digital audio input that we need to connect. Okay, and what's going to make this somewhat easier is the fact that on the back of this thing, I've got an adjustable arm. So you can kind of swing the TV out. This is going to be much more difficult, of course, if you did a flush mount for your installation, but this thing makes it a lot easier to work with for a number of reasons. And there's quite a few things I can do now that would not be possible if I hadn't hooked it up this way. So this is what the back of my TV looks like. Again, it would be very difficult to get to this if you had a flush mount, so hopefully that's not the way yours is set up. If so, you'll probably have to pull the TV off the wall. Now I have a different Sony that has that output on the side, which still makes it kind of tricky to get to, but what we want to do is go ahead and plug this in here. And then we have a USB. Usually have at least one port on these. So we've got two. There we've got our power connected. We can go ahead and flip it around and start pairing up our device. So it looks like we can probably stick this on somewhere. That's a good question, how that's going to go in. Because it's got, I'm going to say along the back of the TV. We'll probably put this up at the top later on. For now, I just want to test it out, so I'm going to set it down over here in the corner, and we're going to pair it to my HK, which I highly recommend. These things are awesome if you want to have something. Let's turn this off. See if that helps. Okay, so if you want to have something that gives you some nice bass output, look into these Harman Kardon wireless Bluetooth speakers. They are pretty cool. All right, so let's go ahead and get the TV turned on. And we should have a menu in here. Let's see what source we want. Oh, that's loud. And the crazy thing is, I did not even pair the device. All I did was plug it in. It is a Bluetooth device, and next thing you know, it's playing the sound from the tutorial. So this is really bizarre. For whatever reasons, it's connecting to my Bluetooth automatically. Now the question is, will it do the same thing with my wireless headset? And the answer is yes, it will pair with any Bluetooth headset. All you have to do is put the device in pairing mode and give it a few seconds, about 30 seconds at the most, and it will generally pair it up. The only problem was the sound at this point was horrible. It sounded very distorted, as if it was turned up too loud. So I switched to another device. I tried using my Motorola Rocker, same problem. I switched to my Plantronics M155. I tried my Motorola H550. I even went out and bought a new Bluetooth headset, this one from Tao, which is pretty nice, by the way, and maybe I should start making Bluetooth reviews, but all of these devices seem to have the same problem. So I found out later on by experimentation that you have to go in and change some of the settings, at least for the Samsung Smart TV, and this may vary depending on what kind of TV or Bluetooth you're using, but I think the source was the real problem because the Telme 2 does not actually have an output level control. So you're going to have to make sure that whatever's going into the device is not overpowering the Bluetooth that you're connecting with. So I took the Velcro piece that comes with the Telme and I put it on the bottom of the TV. It kind of changed my idea about where I wanted it to be located, and then you can just peel off the sticker, and this sticks very nicely right underneath the bottom of the TV, and it's got a very slim profile so it doesn't look funny or anything. And if you'll excuse the quality of the photo, the lighting's pretty bad in my bedroom, but this is kind of what it looks like now. Well, once I got this thing working, I am very pleased with it. You can easily pair two Bluetooth devices at the same time, so you can have two different people listening into the sound for a television show at the same time with no external noise whatsoever. The neighbors aren't going to complain, and if somebody wants to sleep while you're watching TV, not a problem. Very nice little piece of equipment here, and I am completely satisfied now that it's working the way that it's supposed to. If you found the video helpful, like it, share it, check out my channel for more tutorials and product reviews, and most of all, remember to hit the subscribe button. Feel free to leave your feedback in the comments section, and thanks for watching.